Now let's get into our rating for the entire first season of The Acolyte. 8 episodes. What was that? Maybe 2 hours? Was it? No,
Mhm.
4 hours. 4
Yeah.
hours. About 4 hours.
A
Maybe
little bit
less.
over 4 hours. Yeah.
A little bit over 4 hours. Okay. So right around there. Brandman, what are you rating The Acolyte? Now, later, never.
I'm going to be as fair to this show as possible, and um, I can give it. I'll be reasonable about it. I'll give it a later. And it's a very hard later. Like you can watch this much later down the line. Um, if if you happen to be a Star Wars fan, that sort of thing, and if you haven't come across this yet, I'd say give it a fair shot. It really isn't to me without its merits. It's not one of those situations where I like venomously hated it. I did think there were some things that did kind of work in terms of spectacle, in terms of the smaller story, which I appreciated for a change in terms of the lightsaber battles. I think from a technical standpoint, I thought like the set design and everything was really good. I thought a lot of thought went into that. So if you're just looking for something to kind of keep you entertained, if those are if anything that I just mentioned are your jams, by all means give it a watch. But it's not really anything vital. It's not anything that you have to get up and go watch right out of the woodwork. You can wait. You can actually wait very long if you wanted to and not really miss anything. And just it's one of those like, oh, one of these days I'll watch it type things. So I can give it a later in that regard, a very hard later.
Okay. Sounds good. What about you, Brian?
I don't want to be unfair. I've been in the middle for most of the show.
Mhm.
I really didn't like a finale. I thought the episode was fine. I thought just for action, the action stuff, and when they're fighting, I think it's good. Not just fine. I think it's really good action. I think they worked on it. They did different styles. They thought about why they're going to do certain things. I thought that was very good. I thought the writing most of the time, the beginning was terrible, and the end was okay. If you like pushing lore, Star Wars lore to different things, and don't mind it, maybe not wrecking, but changing the things that you thought you were going to have from Star Wars, then this might be the show for you. As for me, I feel like it made me not trust any of the things I thought I knew about the Star Wars through all the books, through all the comic books, through all the stuff. It made me untrust a lot of stuff. So I'm giving it a later, personally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure that there are people that are going to like it. There are people that are going to give it a nows and stuff, but I'm going to give it a later. Almost like but I'm giving it a later, but I might not ever watch this again. Like never ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the bottom half of later. And if someone said I'm never going to do it, I'm with you. I understand, but that's how low I am on later right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I actually was thinking about this a lot. Because my initial feeling is like a never, like just never watch it. And if you're a diehard like Star Wars fan and you have thoughts and feelings and some like like you already kind of have your feelings for Star Wars, you might not like this.
Mhm.
The I'm gonna give it a later, depending on if we get a season 2. If we get a season 2, what you can binge this really quick right before the second season starts.
Mhm.
If we never get a season 2, then everything on the show is just pointless. Because the way it ends was not an ending that finished finished stories. Yeah, so I mean, if we get a season 2, you can maybe wait until then and binge it really quick. It might be better to binge it, honestly, because there are things that repeat itself a lot. There's a lot of cliche things that you already know where it's going. You know, the writing and the dialogue aren't the best at times. This decision making for characters are questionable at best. You know,
At best, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, binging it and running through it as fast as possible might be the best way to do it right before season 2. But I don't think I'm ever gonna watch this ever again, really. You know, like if a season 2 comes out, I'll obviously watch it, but I'm definitely gonna like not I don't want to say not like it, but be worried. Be worried on what else they're gonna do. You know,
How can
so
I enjoy something if I'm worried about how you're going to
exactly.
do your lore? Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so yeah, like I said, if you're die hard, just don't bother. It's just gonna upset you. But if you're somewhere in the middle of the road, wait. Just wait until we hear if there's a season 2 or not. I think that might be the best because yeah, if you're in the middle of the road and we don't get a season 2, then all this is pointless. All this is pointless, and it just retcons so many things that let us know your rating if you're watching. You know, just give it a now, give it a later, how you feel about it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are loving it. A lot of people are liking it. The critics, are somewhere in the 80s. With the critics scoring Rotten Tomatoes. So, there are people that are liking it. So definitely leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about it. Any theories where you think season 2, if we get a season 2, where there might go. But appreciate everyone watching on the replay. Thank you guys so much. If you're watching on the live, stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic for the